Helpline. Tune in and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family.
Listen to Helpline daily at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 p.m. Eastern on CRN.
Welcome to Lifestyle Buzz Today with Orlando. Fresh, innovative, entertaining talk about topics we are all in one way or another involved with. And now, here's your host, Orlando Burgos.
Welcome to our show today. And I need to kick it off by saying that how sad we are about the events that happened in Florida just this last few days. And I'm heartbroken by two things. Number one, so many people are politicizing the situation that happened when, it shouldn't be like that. We should feel sad for the dead people. We should feel anger by the fact that it could have been prevented, maybe. And then we should be confused by the fact that, and this may sound self-serving, I am a gun owner. I'm a gun enthusiast. I was in the military where I learned to shoot the AR weapons. Plus, the Air Force gave me a fully loaded fighter jet to go and create havoc. And yet, I have the deepest respect for weaponry. And a lot of people jump on the bandwagon of making this a gun issue when, in fact, I think it's more of a mental problem that we are trying to avoid in talking about. And we should be open enough about it to be able to discuss where the problem should, in the direction that the problem should be headed or stemmed or stopped. It's not as easy as just saying, is President Trump's fault? Is the gun owner's fault? Is the NRA fault? The manufacturers? Yes, there was a gun involved, but it requires people to pull the trigger on guns. And I think we need to concentrate on the fact that mental issues are abundant. Mental issues are present in our society. Mental issues need to be dealt with in a very positive way instead of the legal way that is being handled today. Many people worry too much about how much trouble they can get into legally instead of actually taking a stance on correcting someone. I grew up in a society where an adult was respected. When I was a child, if an adult saw me doing something wrong, they would pull my strings, no matter who they were. They happened to know my family, and they decided that it was their duty to call me up on it, to tell my dad and my mom. And there was no development of violence as there is today with the young people. So where is the problem? Shouldn't we be looking at the fact that there is a parental problem? Shouldn't we be looking at the fact that there's an educational problem? Shouldn't we be looking at the fact that there's a societal problem? My opinion, I'm an amateur, I'm a DJ, but I do have an opinion. I've seen too much. I'm an old guy. We need to find a solution, and we need to all work together on this. We'll be back in a little bit with Dr. Margaret Aranda, and you're going to find her super interesting. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
All right, we are back again and again and again. My guest today, Dr. Margaret Aranda. Doctor, welcome to Lifestyle Buzz. And you have a story to tell.
Thank you very much. Yes, I've had an interesting life, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. It's wonderful to be here with you.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Tell me, I relate with you because I happen to have had an accident that took me out of contention for a long, long time. Mine was very, very serious, not as serious as yours, but we're not here to compare accidents. What I want to get into is all the stuff that you went through for your recovery and the fact that you are still have certain disabilities today, but you have not allowed for those problems to overcome you. And I think we're going to get into the physical part and the medical part and all of that. But what I want to know is your inner part. What drives you or drove you then and now to not give up? That's what I would like to get into first, and then we can get into the clinical part. See?
Perfect. Well, for me, the car accident was something that happened. I mean, everybody drove away from the car accident. Everybody walked away. And I didn't even know there was anything wrong with me for quite some time.
Oh, really? Okay.
I just gradually started having trouble either remembering things, or one very vivid episode that happened was that I took the 405 freeway north instead of south to go pick up somebody at the airport.
Okay.
And when I realized I was going the wrong direction, I knew there was something wrong with my brain, because I never do something like that. And that was like the beginning of a mild traumatic brain injury that ended up turning into something much more severe and life-threatening.
And what was that?
That was a traumatic brain injury with diabetes insipidus. It's the other diabetes. That's why regular diabetes we think of is diabetes mellitus. In both of the types of diabetes, you urinate a lot if you have an infection or if your glucose is too high, if your sugar is too high with regular diabetes. But with diabetes insipidus, it's related to brain injuries because as my brain swirled around in a circle with the car, we did a 360-degree turn after being T-boned. It banged the pituitary gland up against the wall and knocked out the control of body water.
Is this almost, because I read somewhere that it's very similar to concussions that football players may have?
Yes, they get mild traumatic brain injuries. Absolutely, they do. That's why a lot of us with traumatic brain injuries, survival, are trying to do something for children, especially in the football, with football, so that brains are saved.
Things happen so quickly, and after an incident, like in my case, I had big emotional problems. I was so angry with the person that T-boned my car. Elderly lady. I don't know if the gas pedal got stuck in there, and I didn't care. All I wanted, and it sounds weird, I wanted the worst for her when I was in the hospital, all disabled and whatnot. At the same time, I needed to pull back and rethink my entire philosophy about that, because I am sure that she didn't do it on purpose. She didn't do it on purpose. I don't think that anybody would drive a car at 80 miles an hour to another car unless they have a death wish of some kind. In this particular case, it took me a while to realize that I was concentrating on the wrong thing. In your case, were you able? My injuries were mainly physical, a lot of broken bones and things. In your case, where it involves the brain, it's a little bit more delicate. So how were you able to really come to terms with what was happening to you and find a solution?
That's a great question. I had what is termed an invisible disability or invisible illness. People with traumatic brain injuries don't show it unless they open their mouths and can't talk or can't walk, things like that. And your brain goes through the stages of grief, the denial at first, and then blaming God, blaming the person. Eventually you come to some terms with it, accept it, and try to go on. And that process of grieving is over yourself and the life that you lost, that you used to have.
Right.
And what clicks that, to change that as a spark to reignite a new life for you the best that you can, it's dependent on the individual, I think.
That's a very spiritual thing that you said. And you know what? A lot of people say, well, that's, spiritual mumbo jumbo. Is not. The spirit and the physical have a purpose. And we need to bring them together. Because, see, I spend a lot of time feeling sorry for myself instead of, although I was fighting to get better, with every step that I took that hurt so much, I started blaming God. I started blaming everybody. Until I realized that, okay, it happened. In your case, it happened. So you needed support. You had a daughter, young daughter at the time. Was she supportive of what was happening to Mommy?
Well, she was only 3 years old.
Oh my God,
she
really?
was
Okay.
sitting in the back of the, in the car. She remembers being hit. And she was the biggest motivator for me. I wanted to be a mom. I didn't want to get taken away from planet Earth. I wasn't quite ready. And so she was a big motivator for me. But yeah, there's got to be something in you that wants to live when you survive a disability. And it can be very frustrating, especially if your family doesn't understand why you say you're going to be there and you're not.
Right.
Your friends, you make promises, you thought you could go, but then you're too sick, you can't get out of bed. I was bedridden for 12 years. It's a lot of time.
Really?
It's a lot of time to be in bed, staring at the ceiling.
And that takes a toll on your physical condition too.
Yes, so, the muscles waste, the ligaments, everything, your whole body starts to demise slowly. So I had to really do a lot to just try to continue with physical therapy. I ended up going to neuro rehab for a while too.
Doctor, it's amazing to actually, by checking out your story, that you are sitting here. It's for me it's actually amazing because you hear so many stories. We have some more with the good doctor as soon as we come back. Stay tuned. Be back in a little bit.
experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
When you really want Italian food for that special someone on your special day, you have got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's is that deliciously welcoming bistro that makes every visit something special. It's an easy refuge from everyday insanity. It's fun, it's relaxing, and it's affordable. The service is excellent but not fawning. The food, the delicious steaks, the freshest fish, Columbo's family Italian specialties, meatballs to die for with jazz every night makes every visit something special. Columbo's, that's someplace special for that someone special. Columbo's, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, mangia.
All right, we are back. Again, my guest, Dr. Margaret Aranda. Doctor, you are a professional anesthesiologist. Well, you're a doctor, so obviously professional. Anesthesiology. By your own story, you cannot practice that anymore. In many cases, people that lose something that they love are angry. Tell me how you feel about that.
I had to think about how I was going to accept my life for a long time. I had a lot of time to think about this.
Okay.
And the bottom line that I realized that I was going to have to do in order to survive was to turn the negatives into positives.
Good.
That's the simplest way I could say it. So I struggled with whatever I could do, I would do it. Whatever I couldn't do, I would just stay away from that negativity, or that like impulse to feel sad or upset or, lonely or frustrated. And then so I started writing. I started writing books. My first book was No More Tears.
Okay.
A physician turned patient inspires recovery. I was completely brain injured when I wrote it, so I ramble. And I had an IV going for 3.5 years, which again is another oxymoron for anesthesiologists, because those drips should have been going into my patients in the operating room or the intensive care unit, not into me. So I lived 12 hours at a time, from sunup to sundown, and then overnight. So every 12 hours, my goal was to make it to the end of the 12 hours. At night, my goal was to wake up in the morning and hear that drip drop, humdrum of the battery putting that IV fluid into me. And that's how 12 years went by.
Really? Isn't it? Do you find it that in many cases, I don't know whether you have a lot more fortitude. I don't know whether I was too crazy to push myself to walk again when I was told not to. I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. But many people give up over a lot lesser situations. I lost my job. Oh, well, go look for another one. Move. Motivation, I think, is the word that is lacking in many people. You have a big reserve of that because obviously you did not allow for anything to really overcome your desire to move, to do something, to be active, to get back into a rhythm. Is that more or less accurate?
Yes, I think that what I boiled it down to is that I have a lot of perseverance. I'm very competitive by nature. I was on swim team my whole life.
Okay.
Granada Hills High, I was on swim team. And so I grew up in a big family. I'm the second oldest out of 7 children. And at 13, I baked my first Thanksgiving dinner. I did the cooking for the family, for my younger siblings.
Okay.
And left home when I was 16. So I was sort of independent and very adult-like, even as a teen.
Do you find that maybe today, because of the way things happen to be societal-wise, that motivation part is no longer an important factor in rearing children?
I think that there are many things in American culture that are sort of microwave, attitude. Like there's something in us that, for example, going to see a doctor when you have a problem. Something like 75% of patients expect to get a prescription. And
Right.
something like 75% of doctors are writing prescriptions for that visit. So we tend to think that A plus B equals C, when in reality, we need to step back sometimes and not accept things the way they are and just think outside of the box. And I think I just naturally tend to do that a lot. I don't like being like the crowd. I don't watch TV. A lot of
Okay.
doctors don't even have a TV in their house. I don't have time for TV. So it's just a lifestyle.
TVs are no bargain, actually. There's really, you watch the news and every single channel, they're all the same. They're all like a copy of the last one, so it's kind of wasted time. One of the things, though, in that I noticed, I already raised my kids. They're all ready to raise their own type of a thing. If they ever got married. They have an allergy to that. But the fact is that in many cases, this idea that we're all equal, we're all the same, we all get a little prize, we all get a crown, a trophy for everybody or nobody. Don't try to win so much. Keep that in mind, because I wanted you to tell me how you feel about that, because obviously you don't. But we'll talk about this in a little bit. Commercial time, I guess. We need to pay some bills. We'll be back in a couple of seconds with the good doctor.
Hi everyone, this is Fred Dreyer with a big announcement. My new movie, Highway 395, has just been released. Don't miss this classic modern-day Western set along Highway 395 in California. It's an action thriller with some romance too. You can own Highway 395 today by going to my brand new website, freddryer.co. That's freddryer.co. Get my new movie, Highway 395, and check out my new website, freddryer.co.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's to see the memorabilia of movie stars and theatrical magic right in downtown Fullerton, California. See the art of the masters, an Italian town square complete with storefronts of old Italian butchers and cheesemongers, fruit and wine vendors, seamstresses showing their wares, fairy lights from cathedral ceilings, and our ancestors smiling down at you from the family love altar. The romance of Romeo and Juliet, and find the mystical Room of the Moon. And don't forget King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein, and who knows what awaits you in the wine cellar. Enjoy the great food. We hand stuff our pastas, roll each and every tortellini, bake our own bread, make our own sauces fresh from our private stock of Sicilian family recipes. From pasta to seafood, chicken to award-winning pizzas, tiramisu flown in from Rome. If you can't find something on our menu to tempt you, you don't like Italian food. Try our Sunday brunch, just $18.95, and Angelo's and Vinci's has been named 2 years in a row Best Italian Restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurant, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
The legends of Ka'anapali Luau at the Ka'anapali Beach Hotel will take your breath away with an abundant feast, spellbinding dances, and music from Lei Pono Productions. Be greeted with a lei and browse to see island crafts made by local artisans. As you hear the pu or conch shell blow, your luau experience will begin. The featured entree is a whole roasted pig and a bountiful menu of some of Hawaii's favorite food choices. Oh, you can't forget our famous made in-house taro poi. As your night comes to an end under the spell of the moon, be amazed by the famous firewalk. By the end of the night, you'll be full, and we hope you'll have made new friends and some forever memories while you continue to listen to music from Maui's local Hawaiian musicians every Monday night at Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel. Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, voted Best Aloha Spirit by Hawaii Magazine readers. Call 667-0128 or visit legendsofka'anapali.com for your exciting island adventure.
Destination South Point. 11 great restaurants, bingo, bowling, movies, race books, sports books, spa, live entertainment, oversized rooms, and the rates unbeatable. The South Point Las Vegas. Book now. Online at southpointcasino.com or call 866-791-7626. southpointcasino.com or call 866-791-7626. At the South Point Las Vegas, you're always a winner.
All right, we are back. And Jose just actually threw a question out here, which I was going to cover in a little bit, but might as well. Tell us, what was the question? You wanted to know about the accident, how it happened.
That's a great question, because if you understand how it happened, you'll understand the extent of the injuries. So imagine I was going straight. There was a red light. I wasn't even in the intersection, and I never saw her coming. Right. So all of a sudden, she apparently came from down the hill in front of Pepperdine University on Malibu Canyon, and she reached over to get something that fell on the floor. So she was a distracted driver. She pushed the gas instead of the brakes. There were no brake marks. She hit me an estimated 90 miles an hour, and she slammed into our Ford Expedition. She was in a little two-seater Beamer, and she twirled us around in a complete circle. We were facing oncoming traffic on the other side. So the injuries, it was like a centrifuge of the brain. She twirled me around so hard and so fast, and my daughter was in the back seat. So she got, but she was not injured, thankfully.
I was going to say, it's a miracle that she didn't get hurt. Yeah.
So not only was my brain swirled and it kind of like upset everything and knocked the pituitary gland against the wall, of the ventricle, but also she ripped an artery in my neck, in the vertebral artery, that supplies your cerebellum behind your big brain. That's responsible for vision and balance.
Oh my.
So I was unable to walk without holding onto a table. And I had to go on blood thinners for a while. There was no medical management that was really known at that time for that. Sometimes people operate. So it was, and I threw up. I threw up all day, every day for a decade.
Wow.
And I had to go on an IV, I was telling you that, for 3.5 years.
Yeah. I mean, what has been the end result of all of this, of these injuries?
Well, I still have something called dysautonomia. It's a dysfunction of the autonomic nervous system, or the automatic nervous system. It is the control center for things like your digestion of your food, your heart rate, your blood pressure. And also it regulates the arteries in your legs, in the veins in your legs, to make them squeeze, so that when you stand up, the blood will go to your brain.
Okay.
So my legs, the veins don't do that. So I still have to take medication sometimes to push my blood pressure up. And my heart goes too fast sometimes. And I have to wear prescription stockings to squeeze my legs, because they can't do it for themselves. If I want to stand up, I have to wear stockings.
Okay. So you have had to make permanent adjustments to your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And that actually is one of the things that makes you probably stronger, the fact that you have come to terms with these changes, and in fact has propelled you to move forward instead of always looking back to, woe's me, why did it happen to me? And that is one of the most marvelous things that I can say, is the fact that you were able to overcome. And the reason why I say that is because I see so many people that are not even willing to try to overcome small problems. It doesn't have to be heavy injuries like what you had, what I had, or you still have. I still have limitations. But the fact is that adjust, move on, write a book.
That's right.
You know?
I couldn't do anything. What do you do when you're bedbound? You know, there's a lot of us go on social media. So I'm a social media expert now. I have a lot of followers on a lot of different outlets. As a doctor too, and as a female, I think it's been very helpful to meet other people all over the world on social media, and to be an encouragement. And you're right. Writing a book for me was researching my disease. It was researching a lot of different things about life. And I was academic my whole life. School was always easy for me. You have to compete to get into medical school. You have to compete to get into anesthesia at Stanford, critical care at Stanford, and again, I'm doing age management now.
I was going to ask you, what are you doing for a profession now?
I'm a fellow in age management. It's a American Medical Association boarded specialty nowadays. It didn't used to be. So we do healthy aging. My office is in Beverly Hills with a company called Synergenics. We've been doing this for like 15 years and have a lot of patients all over the world. So we're reversing diabetes and chronic metabolic syndrome, having people increase lean muscle mass and decrease total body fat to age healthy so they can chase their grandchildren.
You know what? What you're saying is actually very close to me, because I am diabetic. And yet, I know that I have a problem controlling it, because I don't want to give up on my normal lifestyle. So I eat what I'm not supposed to. I drink when I'm not supposed to. But what you do is actually something that helps you. The same way that you manage your accident situation and to overcome it, you can overcome this too. And for one reason or another, I think a lot of people try to ignore the problem with diabetes. They're trying to figure, well, if I don't think about it, it'll go away.
Absolutely.
And it's just...
Diabetes, to me, is the cancer of aging. And diabetes is so rampant in our country.
Yes.
There are so many people with diabetes, and there are so many people with pre-diabetes. 83 million are estimated. 9 out of 10 don't even know they have it. So yeah, if you're eating a lot of carbs, sugar, and not watching your waistline is probably one of the biggest indicators of how long you're going to live. And today, if you're a woman at 65, you're probably going to live to be 85, 20 years. If you're a man, you'll live to about 83 if you make it to 65. And the cost of healthcare is something that's really immense. Diabetes and insulin, cause a lot of financial drains on people too. And so, I like to encourage people to put some money into their health, because the insurance companies, your health insurance, isn't necessarily going to do that for you.
One of the things is that people think about from the chemical standpoint, but there's actually a lot of stuff that you can do on your own to minimize the risk. So, okay, we'll be back in a little bit.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares, first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
All right, we are back. This time we are moving a little bit too fast here. The show is going so well because we have a great guest here. During the break, we were talking about the aging segment of our society here. And I happen to be one of those in the baby boomer bunch. You were mentioning that every day there are 10,000 baby boomers that turn 65 years old.
Yeah. Every day. And it's so interesting because as we, look around us, we're going to be seeing more and more elders. Right, say in 2010, about 13% of the population was over 85. It was kind of unusual. But by the time we hit 2030, a good 20% of our population is going to be over 85. And that's huge.
One of the things, though, because I happen to be a baby boomer, the baby boomer generation is not that we want to live forever, per se. But the fact is that we take life a little bit differently than present generations. We don't take anything for granted. We questioned everything. We like to get active. Some of us feel old because disabilities or whatever, doesn't matter. But the fact is that we don't feel unviable. The baby boomers are doers, where younger generations are more computer directed, more not mechanical, but electronically dependent. So what do we do with the fact that a lot of the baby boomers don't want to go gracefully like in the old days?
Right. Well, the thing about baby boomers is that many of us will end up with at least one chronic disease like diabetes. Like 92% of us will have at least one chronic illness. And 77% of us will have two chronic illnesses, which is a double whammy, because each one costs a lot of money. And chronic illness is right now costs $3.1 trillion a year, and that's $3,100,000 million. That's such a big number. We put like 3.1 trillion. Doesn't sound like much, but it's actually quite a bit. And that accounts for 85% of all of our healthcare costs.
This is one of the reasons why today's health providers are actually being proactive. And like in my case, they pay for my gym. My insurance pays for my gym. And they monitor. They want to know why I'm not going on a regular basis. I mean, they spread it around. I get my behind chewed out from my doctors and everywhere. How come you're not going back to the gym? Yeah, So is that one of the reasons why? Because the cost is so prohibitive that it's cheaper to pay for maintenance?
Well, I think there are a lot of different things. One of the things is the mindset. A lot of Americans, I think, feel that their medical insurance should pay for their medical problems and their health care. Right. And what we're trying to do is get people to think differently, because you're going to spend 2 or 3 decades perhaps in retirement. And Medicare premiums for a healthy couple between age 65 and 85, depends on who you talk to, but it's over $250,000 right there. Mm-hmm. So you're absolutely right. I mean, we have to have a mindset that we're going to age healthy. And that means when you're in your 50s or 60s, you still have time to try to turn your body around, get things a little more lively with what some of your personal lifestyle choices are with food and diet and exercise.
I grew up with McDonald's. Okay, McDonald's, I was a youngster when it came up, the 15-cent hamburger or whatever it was. Yet, we learn also that abusing the food, abusing the inactivity should go against your well-being, and we try to make adjustments, sometimes minor, sometimes a lot. What I see in today's young people, though, is that they don't care. Today is all about not only the big gulp, but the super big gulp, I mean, how can people swallow a gallon of goo in any form? Mm-hmm. Why buy an order of French fries, but they have to be chili fries, mm-hmm. along with your chili burger? Mm-hmm. So the healthy lifestyle that we promote a lot for the older people is falling on deaf ears with the young people. So how do we promote a little bit better for the people that are abusing the situation of
That's a great question. I certainly am not going to have the answer to that one. I don't think there's an easy answer at all. But generally speaking, it's up to the parents to ingrain, these kinds of things in their children. However, obesity and child obesity is so huge these days that we're looking at the first generation of parents that are not going to see their children grow up. Their children are going to die. They're just not going to live as long as they will. And that's really sad.
In many cases, I mean, the parents are in bad shape themselves, so the kids have a tendency to be in bad shape too. So
it's, and today, if, just respect to exercise, it's not about necessarily going to the gym for hours every day. If you're a couch potato and you're sitting there and that's what you normally do, get up and walk, during the commercials, or sit on a stationary bike. Doing anything active is going to help you for even a small period of time.
There you go, guys. Get on the trail. Start walking. Do something. We'll be right back.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. 800-485-8803. Call right now. That's 800-485-8803.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal, marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
All right, we are back. Telling a story that I went to the doctor the other day because I was feeling bad. I had the flu, coughing and wheezing and whatnot. The doctor said, yes, you have the flu, now go away. And I was totally twisted about the fact that I didn't get a pill. In diabetes, it seems to me that it's the same thing. If you don't get the magic pill, people think that, well, life's not worth living. What are your thoughts on as far as diabetes and the maintenance and the costs and all that?
That's a great question. Diabetes is definitely one of the biggest problems in chronic disease in our country. And I'll back up even to pre-diabetes, because a lot of people with a big abdomen are pre-diabetic. They have chronic metabolic syndrome. And I don't know whatever made our society think that you can walk into a doctor's office, get a pill, and fix your problem. It's not that easy. You can't do everything wrong and expect something right to happen. Everything good comes with help. So if you're pre-diabetic, you eat more healthy, make better choices, exercise a little bit. If you're able to reverse it, which I actually did for myself, my grandma died of diabetes and I was pre-diabetic and I got rid of it. If you're able to get rid of it, you'll not only decrease your risk of death by 50%,
Wow.
but you'll also spend half as much money on your health care as everybody else around you with it. So if you can make good choices, not only will you live longer, but like I like to say, you'll be chasing your grandchildren.
Yeah.
We don't want you disabled on the sidelines.
You know what? I mean, if you don't help yourself, you cannot expect somebody to come over and be babysitting you on and on and on and on. And that is one of the things that we try to do with this show, is to get people proactive in whatever it is that they do. Mm-hmm. If they want to travel, make arrangements, make plans, have dreams. Dream big.
That's right.
You know, dream big. If you want, if you're tired of being strapped all the time because of, short of money or whatever, do something about it. Prepare yourself. Study. Educate. Go for a different job. I mean, think out of the box. And this is something that with illnesses also you need to do. You need to think out of the box. You need to not take it for granted. You mentioned in your book that you had changed doctors, and you're a doctor. So you had to go there and say, hey, bud.
That's absolutely right.
I mean, it's hard sometimes because a lot of people say, well, what do I know? No, you should know. You should know yourself. Mm-hmm. No symptoms. So anyway, for any questions for the good doctor, your email address or website?
I can be reached at maranda, MARANDA, at Cenegenics.com. A lot of men know the Cenegenics company, CENEGENICS.com. And I'm happy to answer questions. I also have a website, thechroniclifediet.com. And I write my own articles because I research everything myself.
All right.
And that's what I like to do.
Well, there you guys have it. We have a smart cookie here. And I recommend that you contact her and let us know if you can answer any questions on air. We'll have her back sooner than later. And if you want any information for us on the show here, lifestylebuzztoday@gmail.com, lifestylebuzztoday@gmail.com. And for those who want to do some traveling, silverfoxexpeditions@gmail.com. silverfoxexpeditions@gmail.com. And we have been brought to you by Lazy Dog Productions, LLC. Don't forget, the LLC is very important. See you next week, guys. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself on being the station of every situation. And you can listen to us on nearly any platform and device. Download to your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry episodes of What's Cookin'. And take Master Sommelier Michael Jordan with you to the wine shop so he can help you pick out that perfect bottle of wine. Stream episodes of the Sonoma Wine Report through our CRN app, TuneIn Radio, Nobex, Stitcher, UTunes, or AHA Radio, and start planning that unforgettable weekend in the wine country. They're in your corner on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and many other apps. And of course, you can always listen live through your local cable TV provider, as well as on our website at crntalk.com. For more information on where to listen to these great shows, along with many others, log on to crntalk.com and create your own listening experience today.
The radio channel